Wow, you must see the stunning ephemera I made out of the masterboard. Come with me. Now, the previous video, I made this masterboard out of just scraps of material or pages I didn't like, and did different techniques, stamping and stenciling, and got really creative on this and made this beautiful masterboard. So we're going to cut this up today using different metal dies to make some ephemera pockets and some tags, and decorate these with cut out flowers and odds and ends. And it's just going to be a fun experience here, and you won't believe how this turned out. So I'm going to be using this craft paper notebook. I'm going to be starting a new junk journal. I thought it'd be great just to have these loose pages and just put everything right on top of some of these, and just a fresh start. All right, so I'm going to start by cutting a little section off of here. My first pocket I'm going to make is about 4.5 inches wide with the tabs and everything. So I'm going to cut a piece about 5 inches here. So I'm going to be cutting some of the pockets and ephemera right off of this piece here. And so here we go. So this first one I'm going to do is this corner pocket that has 3 little slots in it, the top one and then 2 middle ones. And it can hold a whole lot of tags and different odds and ends and papers. And here it is all cut out. So what you need to do on these dies is fold down the sides, the edges, and glue those down. And it gives a little bit more dimension and room inside of your tag to put your items in. And since this paper is kind of thick, since we added a lot of paper to it and a lot of glue, just be careful. And if anything comes up, just get your glue and kind of re-glue things down. And I have a little plastic bone folder here that I am creasing these down and making them lay a little bit more flat. And it does a wonderful job. And you can see a little bit of paper coming up. And I'm just going to get some glue and just kind of reattach some of this as we go. But this looks stunning already. Look at those beautiful colors. And this will just look really, really nice here. So I'm going to go ahead and get some glue and glue down 2 sides. This is my favorite glue, a Barely Art Precision craft glue. And it's got this fine tip point on here, and I can just run it down the sides. So I'm going to kind of run it on the inside and the outside of this little flap. And I'm going to do that on the top and the side, or on the bottom and the side. And this stuff dries pretty quick too. That's one reason I like this glue, is you don't have to hold it for a long period of time. And I'm just going to put a lot of glue on here because we want this to stay. And I'm going to place it right down in the corner. There we go. And I'm just going to hold it for a moment or so until that glue starts to set. It doesn't take very long at all. Okay, so that's about it for that. And let's cut out the next little section here. Look at that. That looks so nice. Okay, so sorry about the camera. I found out later on after video in this that my SIM card had gone bad, and it kept on shutting off on me and ended up having to reformat the whole thing. But anyway, I got little bits and pieces here. So this is the next one. This is a library card tag holder. And so the size of a library card fits into that. And I'm going to get this little piece of paper here that came from that receipt book that some of the masterboard was made from, and cut a little notch in here. And we're just going to use this as a little pocket at the bottom, and it kind of matches the whole theme of stuff since some of this paper is incorporated into the masterboard. And I'm just going to use my vintage photo ink here and just kind of smudge up the edges a little bit to give it a little bit of more of a vintage and more dimension into my junk journal. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. And on this one here, I'm just going to glue down the top, bottom, and the one side, leaving the side with the notch open so we can slide stuff in and out. Just a little bead of glue down the sides there. Doesn't need much. This is a thinner paper. It's not a cardstock, so it doesn't take much glue to adhere this at all. And put that right at the bottom. I love this color. Adds a lot of contrast to what's going on. Now this one here, I'm going to go ahead and glue down 3 sides of this, and I'm going to leave that one side where my fingers are open so we can use that as a little pocket also. So I'm going to do the bottom and the side and then across the top. A little extra glue there. Okay, let's glue that down. I'm going to put it over to the side. That'll give me a little bit more room on the side of this to do a little journaling if I want to, or add a little bit of stuff. So here's the card I made. And I use that same matte paper that I used for the master board on the one side. And then I put, I think, the polka dots on the opposite side. Yep, sure did. And I'm going to go ahead and ink this up also. Give that a little bit more dimension and interest to look at. It doesn't take long to do this at all. And, you know, it's just kind of an aesthetic, not necessary. Love this matte paper. I think it's so pretty. All right. So on top of this, I decided to put a little tab, also cut out with a metal die. Glue that right to the top. That way it kind of pulls in and out of that folder nicely. And I'm just going to put glue all in the inside of this. A little hard to hold on to. Usually use tweezers, but I could not find them when I was making this video. They're somewhere in my craft studio. All right. So I'm just going to put a little clip on top of this to help hold it down while it's drying. And get it nice and straight there. Okay, this looks pretty nice. And it's got a lot of room on the back to do some journaling. And you can add some decorations on the front, or even a little piece of paper and do some journaling there. A lot of possibilities there. And that little tag in the front of that pocket, you can decorate that, as you'll see later on in the video. Oh, here we go. I'm going to put a little saying in there. Let's see which one will fit and says what I want it to. This one looks good here. Let's put that right there. Oh, that looks good. Make today count. All right, coming along here nicely. All right, let's put that to the side and let's move on to the next one here. Here's another pocket I cut out. This one has 3 slots on it, and it's got those sides to bend up. And I kind of had to take my time and bend these a little bit because the paper was very stiff with all that glue on the master board. And so I'm just going to take my time and bend these nice, and I'll just glue those little pieces back down that happen to pop up. And it just adds so much character to this. So I turned it right side up so I can see where that score line was. It wasn't showing on the back side very well. And I just want to go nice and slow, make sure I crease this along the right spot. Taking your time now with it will make a world of difference later on, making sure everything looks right. There we go. And also here, look, the paper cracked a little bit, which is not unusual when you have so much glue and paper stacked against each other. So you can always get a little ink and kind of go over that and kind of blend it in. All right, get a little glue there. Let's go ahead and glue those little loose pieces down. And so, one more spot there. That is so pretty. I'm debating where to put this. Since this is going to have tags hanging out, I decided to put it at the bottom of the page. And that way I can put a bigger tag on the top. And that'll give me a lot more room to put a lot of things in these pockets. All right, so here I am. I'm going to ink up those edges a little bit there. That covers up a lot of imperfections. And I'm also going to run these along the pocket slots to take out some of the white and just kind of give it a little bit more aged look. Just to lightly run over it. Don't want to go too crazy because I really love the pattern detail of this masterboard. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the glue down the sides and the bottom of this so I can apply it to the page of my junk journal. So I'm going to be gradually making pages that go into this junk journal. And so it's going to be a beautiful mishmash of different things that I work on and show on in this channel. And eventually build the cover for this junk journal. But right now I'm going to start with the pages. I put that near the bottom like I said. There we go. Looks so good. Okay, let's get working on some tags here. This is some of the leftover pieces. And because I only wanted to do 3 pages, so I got 3 pockets, and the rest I made with tags, and there's a specimen tag also. And I cut out some flowers and different odds and ends, all kinds of things. Have it all laid out there. I think I counted 14 tags all together. Might not be showing them all in the video here. So that little specimen tag there, I decided to put a couple butterflies in there. You can also put a piece of like cellophane over this and put some dried flowers in. But I wanted to keep it simple on this one here and just put a couple of matching butterflies inside here. And then I'm going to glue the sides down. And you can see that polka dot on the one side. Here we go. Just go ahead and glue that down all the way along. These specimen tags are so cool. So since it's a little thicker, it's going to take a little longer to glue. I'm just going to clamp it down with some of these clips. And that will help hold it in place. Or you can slide it under something heavy also, but this works for me. So I'll set that over to the side after I get done inking it and let that finish drying. Moving those clips around as I ink this up. Yeah, I never used to ink anything at all, but I kind of starting to grow on me. So I'm doing more and more inking as I'm working on these junk journals. All right, a little bit there. So nifty. All right. So here's some of the flowers I cut out of some of the pieces. So I had a bunch of scraps left over that didn't go on the masterboard, and it's nice to keep some of those pieces and do a little extra decorating with them. And so I'm just kind of laying these out, different colors, and seeing where things look good. Then once I get everything kind of laid out where I want it, I'll go ahead and glue this down. And kind of wanted to mix up the colors a little bit. It kind of blends, but yet it mixes nicely. Don't want to put any of the two same colors together necessarily. And so just kind of mashing and see what looks best. All right. Then I have these little birds too, trying to figure out where I'm going to do these. I end up actually just putting them on the pages toward the end. And I'm just going to start gluing these down. Little dots of glue there. I love using paper flowers. I use this on a lot of my projects. So I have a lot of metal dies with flowers on them. They're simple, but they add a little extra design element and can really take your project to the next level. And most of these dies I actually purchased on Temu. I just going to try them out. I had been cutting most of my ephemera with Cricut Maker, and I decided to buy a cheap little die press and start buying some dies. And I recently upgraded to a electric press that cuts these metal dies. Game changer, especially when you got a little arthritis in your hands. And here I got some wooden button butterflies here. Pick some out with a complementary colors. And I'm going to put one on each of the 3 pages. These butterflies are nice and lightweight, won't bring down the weight of the pages. And really give a lot of character interest here. Now these little pictures here, I made these on Midjourney AI. So instead of buying these old vintage photographs, I usually just go ahead and make them and print them up and use them for different projects. And I can size them in different sizes and shapes. And they're unique. It's not something everybody else has. And so I do definitely like making my own. One of those looks like one of my aunts that have passed away. So when I seen it, it's like, oh, this looks like one of my aunts. It's like brought back some memories. I have some cool aunts. And I'm just going to tuck these in to see where they look good. And then I'm going to pull them back out here in just a moment and finish embellishing them. I'll be putting some twine on them. I decided not to do any lace or ribbons per se, but I did use quite a bit of embroidery floss for the tags. And a couple little sparkly rhinestones on the flowers and all. Can't finish a project without putting a little sparkle on it, if you know me. All right. So let me show you this finished ones here. They now turn out pretty. So much better than I was expecting. All right, so here's some of my finished tags. You can see I put some sparkly, pretty rhinestones on here. And started counting them, but there's still some more underneath there. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put my tags inside. A lot of journal space on most of these tags. On the back side is that polka dot, which is great for journaling. It has a little side pocket there. And this one has some really big pockets in here. So I'm going to put that biggest tie. I put one of the cutouts as a dangle with a bulb pin. And put a little butterfly on top of that too. And just decided to put one of those papers in there from the receipt book. And just kind of arranging, see what looks best. Putting my different ephemera in here. I think those flowers just really take it up the next level. And those vintage photos give a lot of visual interest. Just love them. Yeah, I got these little extra tags. Maybe put something on in the future. I'm just going to hang it back around this tag here so that I don't lose it. And this tag looks really good in that pocket. And I just slide that specimen card right in that little side one there. Another little tag we'll just put right there in the pocket. Now those little birds that I cut out of the same paper that was on my master board, I'm just going to put them on each page just for a little extra added interest. That turned out so cute. And this is from a metal die also that I got on Temu. It just cuts out birds, nothing fancy. All right. Here's my end pages, page 1 and 2. I put it in a little binder thing there just so you can kind of see what it looks like. Please subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to come back and spend more time and leave some comments. Tell me what you like and what you'd like to see in the future. And we'll make some more crafting here.